Welcome to another episode of Carpet Cleaning Guys Vlogs. I'm your host, Paul, and today I'm going to be revealing my new floor machine, the Orbot Vibe. I'll be using Simple End Cap. This is a reformulated version of the Simple End Cap. It's EPA approved. It is a safer product, all plant-based, and it still cleans absolutely fabulous. I'll mix it at 8 ounces per gallon, and I'll use that as my pre-spray on today's job. And I chose Simple End Cap for the simple reason, no pun intended, that the carpets are not heavily soiled. So you'll see here I have 4 bedrooms, a large landing area, and a staircase. So I'll just be lightly pre-spraying the areas, and then I'm going to be using the Auric Orbiter on the staircase and 21-inch Glad pads upstairs with the big reveal, dun dun dun, the Orbot Vibe. This one is tankless and does not have the sprayers on it. Perfect for my situation, similar to my Mighty ECO Light 14, but this thing weighs about 30 pounds less than that, but it feels almost the same. It's crazy. It's so easy to use and it cleans incredible. I'll show you in today's video here. I think the weight is 82 pounds. I'm gonna pre-vacuum the dry soil up with my new Hoover Hush Tone, which I've really come to enjoy. It does a thorough job, and I'll have to show you maybe in another video dropping the bag out of it. It is so simple. You just you pull the front cover off, and you just push a button, and you don't even have to touch the bag. It just drops out. It's really cool. And you can see it does a fantastic job of picking up all of the debris, dust, dog hair, and whatnot. And then with this new Orbot Vibe, it does have a tilt head, and you'll see I'm still getting used to the operation of the tilt head. When it tilts back, it has a little, I don't know what you call it, a stopper or something underneath that allows it to rest on the floor about 4 inches above the carpet, or on the carpet, but the actual head sits up higher. I'll show you here. I'll be bringing it in just a moment. And so as far as loading it in the truck and unloading it, the head doesn't lock forward. So when you pick it up, the head moves back. And so I've still got to figure some stuff out with it. But I did want to show you how easy it is to pull up the stairs. Keep in mind, this is my first time doing this, so I don't want to end up with a blooper video here. I'm using one hand. Like I said, was it 82 pounds? Those 10-inch wheels just make it so easy. And if I can do it with one hand, you can do it with two hands. It's very, very simple. And then as far as the overall operation, it is very similar to the Mighty ECO 14 Pro Light that I have. And like I said, the ECO, the Mighty, weighs about 115 pounds. So there's about, 30 pounds heavier or more. And this one seems to perform almost exactly like it. And it is so smooth as far as the operation goes. I mean, there's no force or holding or moving or anything. It just kind of like rocking a baby back and forth. So I'll get the Simple End Cap applied here at a nice thin mist. You'll notice I'm wearing my white Croc house shoes. There was a lot of pine needles and a lot of leaves and debris in these people's driveway and the entrance into the home. So I brought my equipment up to the doorstep and brought my house shoes up there and switched into these shoes. And that way I don't have to walk back and forth down the driveway to my van. And I'm not going to be transferring pine needles or other crap on the bottom of my shoes onto the fresh carpet. So let's see here. With this carpet, it's almost a commercial grade nylon style carpet. And the Orbot Vibe, unlike the Swirly, and I love all my machines. The Swirly, I've been using that. I used the Swirly at the job prior to this one, my 9 a.m. This is my 11 a.m. I usually try to take a lunch break and post my videos, but today I could not do that because I had to get caught up. I had a 1 o'clock after this, and because I was trying to film everything, it took a little longer than I thought. But you could see there the little stand that the driver plate is resting on. The head is tilted back and it's sitting above the carpet. So very easy to take on the pads. You could probably put the pad on it and then try and lower it. I still am getting used to how to do this. You'll see I have a little difficulty when you try to put the head straight down. It tends to flick back up when you tilt it back to lay it on top of the pad like you would with a regular floor machine or a floor machine that doesn't tip like this. So, and then also I had to adjust the handle, because if you have the handle straight up in this position, the motor sits too far back. That prevents the head from tipping back up, I guess, while you're dragging it upstairs or whatnot. So I'm just going to bring it over and gently rest it onto the pad. I may not do this next time. I'm hoping I figure out an easier way. But although that was not very hard, again, first time using it. So let's see what happens. You see those two little plates on the left and the right? They stand up above the machine there a little bit. There's 2 bolts that go in each of those, and that's where you can add a weight kit. I don't foresee myself needing a weight kit because I'm primarily going to use the Orbital, this Orbot Vibe, for residential work. And then I'll be using, I like the rotary because I can fill the tank up and just go through my commercial jobs and do end caps that way. And the Mighty ECO, it's like I said, 115 pounds or whatever it is. I'll probably use that one on some restaurants or commercial jobs. Sometimes I'll use it on residential. We'll see. But all my machines, I love all my machines. The Swirly is incredible. And the Koblenz, I love that machine. It's lightweight. It's a rotary as well. And then the Mighty ECO. And now the Orbot Vibe. I think the 2 that will stay on the truck will be the Swirly and the Orbot Vibe. And of course, always the Oric Orbiter for those small jobs or for stairs. And this one, I'm just so impressed. It has a 50-foot cord with the twist lock on it, removable, so you can take it off. So if you damage it, very simple to replace. But listen to that thing. I left it on regular sound. I didn't cut the sound 50% or anything, so hopefully you can hear me talking. But that thing is just doing work. And yes, you can do an entire business with a 12-inch Oric Orbiter, or you can do it with a 13-inch Koblenz. And I recommend you start out that way if that's, what you want to do. If you don't have a lot of money to get into the business, that's a great way. The video before this, I did $500 budget, start a carpet cleaning business with the Oric Orbiter. And yes, it can be done, but when you think about as you grow and you want to do more jobs, more volume, you're going to want a bigger machine. And at 21 inches versus 12 inches, I'm doubling my productivity. This, it would take me probably 3 times as long to do it with an Oric Orbiter versus what I'm doing here. And of course, once I get more familiar with this machine, I'll figure out, the way that I want to operate it, whether it means that I go and I put the cord to the side of me and I go back and forth like mowing a lawn, or if I decide I want to operate it forwards and backwards and just do sections. I'll figure that out as I go, but I definitely think that if as you grow your business, you're going to want to advance your level of cleaning tools so you can get more done, make more money, buy more tools, take care of your family, whatever it is you want to do. But this thing is, it's got a 1 horsepower motor on it, and there is 0 vibration. It's just so simple. You just rock it back and forth. And if you're doing multiple jobs, that's the other thing is, I do a 9 a.m., an 11 a.m. I try to post my 11 a.m. job during my lunch break or I video the 11 a.m. job, I should say. And then I got a 1 p.m. and then I like to be home by around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And some days I'm playing catch up if I did a lot of videotape, so I won't put the video up till later. This one will probably get posted later in the evening. And if you're doing more than me, when I was younger, I'd do 5, 6, 7. Bring on the work. I'd just keep working until they kick me out of the house because I got to go to bed. But at this stage in the game, my average ticket is pretty high, so I make all the money I need to make with, 2 or 3 jobs a day. And then in the high volume summertime, you saw I had a helper. He took the Koblenz, put it in my SUV, and went out and he picked up the slack. So probably continue that process next summer. It worked out real good for me. And also the commercial jobs I'm working on picking up as well. And I showed that in that video with the budget, $500 start a carpet cleaning business. Those smaller high-rise buildings, if there's a big turnover on those things, they can be really good money. And so that's something to look at. And this would actually work just fine on those jobs as well, because you can easily tilt the head back, roll it into the building, drag your vacuum behind you, and up and down elevators, no problem. So pretty simple. Or you could fill a wagon up like I had in the video with your sprayer and all your other tools that you need, and just pull the wagon behind you and push the Orbot Vibe ahead of you. So very simple, lots of options. And the on-off switch, I think I showed, it's that little red button. So once you're ready to go, you just push the red button to power, and away you go. And then the shut-off was real simple too. Turned it off, there was no heavy torque or drag or pull. It just stopped, and it didn't make a thump or a loud noise or anything like that. Very, very cool. Similar to, like I said, the Mighty ECO. The Mighty ECO, it's got a 1.5 horsepower motor, so when I do turn that one off, I just tilt the head back just a tiny bit, or lift it back, I should say, so that it relieves the tension on the pad between the carpet. And otherwise you would get a thump with that one because that one's really, really spinning. And the difference between your rotary and your orbital is the motion of the pad driver. So your rotary is spinning 360 degrees in a circle, and the orbital is moving 360 degrees around, but it's randomly orbiting in different directions as it goes around. Kind of like if you put your hand on a washcloth on a countertop and you move it at a scrubbing motion around and back and forth, or what have you. It helps, I think, with these residential carpets as far as the additional motion, although the rotaries work just fine for residential. You can see there, I decided to show you one-handed here, do a little filming. You know that little black button right there on the top left? Anybody know what that is? I need to look in my manual. I was thinking about pushing it because it wasn't a safety switch or anything as far as I'm aware. Because I just hit the red switch and the machine came right on. And I thought, maybe I'll push the button. And then then I thought, what if I push the button and the handle ejects off or something, in the middle of the job? So I'll find out what that does later. Maybe when I get home tonight, I'll look in the manual. If you happen to know what that button is for, chime in the comments. I'd love to know. And I will say, as far as that tilt head, at the end of this video, you'll see major debacle. And it all results from me not listening to what Damon at Encapstore.com had told me ahead of time. I had asked him, and then today, I don't know what happened. I was probably just excited about using the machine. And he had told me how I need to load it in my van and how to, set it up in there. And you'll see. I didn't pay attention to you, Damon. Sorry, buddy. I wish I did. Thank goodness I didn't damage the machine or the van. But I'll show you what happens. Stay tuned for that at the end. And this is really doing a fantastic job. I know the carpets didn't look too soiled to begin with, but the trafficked areas definitely had soil. See there, I hit the switch. No movement, no thuds, just a smooth on-off. Here's that 21-inch Glad pad. Definitely was soil. You could see the backside for contrast. I'm going to go back through and groom everything. And I'll show you that here. Fantastic results. There you go. And that's just using a 12-inch soft bristle deck brush to groom it. I like to use that because it pushes the fibers both directions, so I could see if I missed any spots and need to come back through with my spotter kit, which I didn't need to do that today. There's the brush. Here's a few more of the aesthetic triangles. Looking good. And I'll show you a few of the rooms. And also the staircase, which I did with the Orbiter. And then I just take my grooming brush. I was putting triangles on the stairs, but I decided lately I would just push the fibers back towards the foot plate and then just slide across the bullnose, and then I always groom the faceplate down. You'll see that here in a minute. And then I'll show you my debacle. Sorry, Damon. Should have listened to you. I asked him if you load the machine at the tilt or if you should have the head down. He said have it down. You could see I loaded it, locked in place up. Didn't do any damage. It just landed over on my upholstery table. So there you go. I did unload it and make sure there was no damage to the wheels or any other part of the machine. Everything's good to go. I'll load it the right way next time. Learn from my mistakes. I appreciate you watching another episode and definitely enjoying this new Orbot vibe. It is an awesome machine. I'll see you in the next one.